42 out of Laverne, Minnesota, Chad Overgaard. Looks like Gage Noyes and the 22 in has chosen to start at the rear of the field. So your front row is now the 13 of Glenn Jones and the 55 JR of Greg Taylor. Your front row as we are set to go heat race number 1 for the J&J Fitting Stock Cars. Pace picks up, green flag waves, and here we go. Todd Giroux giving the chrome horn down the front stretch to Greg Taylor. Taylor slides up. Glenn Jones going to take the top spot, but here comes Taylor back in the 55 JR. Jones in the 13, Taylor in the 55, Giroux the 94, the 117 of Chad Loneman. Loneman working on the lower line of the speedway. Loneman up to third, challenging Taylor for second. Everybody working top side of the speedway except the driver of the 117L, Chad Loneman. Loneman gets the bite down low, takes over the second spot as Greg Taylor got a little too high off turn number 2. Loneman carrying that left front around the speedway, but one more lap in the books for Glenn Jones, your leader. Jones leads over the 117L, Chad Loneman. Todd Giroux in the 94 third. Greg Taylor fourth in the 55 JR, and fifth is the 42 of Chad Overgaard. Field getting stretched out a bit now around the speedway as Glenn Jones with the 2-car length advantage over Loneman. Loneman not getting the bite, has to check up out of turn number 2. That's going to allow Todd Giroux to get by. Back in the back, Jeremy Gibbs loose. He'll fall back a spot. As off of turn 4, Glenn Jones, your leader, as Greg Taylor with the chrome horn one more time. This time to the 42 of Chad Overgaard. A little bit different conditions tonight over the first couple of weeks here this season. Seeing some cars move forward, having some different setups. But this time off turn 4, Glenn Jones, the first one to the white flag, 1 to go. Glenn Jones, your leader. Todd Giroux, second. Chad Loneman in the 117L. Got the full flex on that machine. But as they come through turns 3 and 4, one final time here in heat race number 1. Checkered flag out. J&J Fitting Stock Car heat race number 1 goes to Glenn Jones. Todd Giroux, second. Chad Loneman, third. Chad Overgaard, fourth. And Greg Taylor rounding out the top 5. Awful quick heat race number 1. Interesting setup to see the 117L of Chad Loneman carrying that left front around, got that car flexed to its capacity. But he started from the front row, was able to capitalize. Heat race number 1 goes to the 13 of Glenn Jones. Jason Ward. Row 3 to the inside of Little Rock, Iowa, the 16J of John DeBoer, and to his outside, he's been keeping folks cool all day long, the 28 of Mike Jensen. They had popsicles back at the Mike Jensen pits before the races, keeping everybody cool and sweet and happy. Green flag waves. Here we go in heat race number 2. Sean Johnson not getting up to speed. That is allowing that outside line to get gone. Aaron Gilliam and Jason Ward going to go wheel to wheel down the backstretch for that top spot here in heat race number 2. Look out, Kurt Van Beek. He's 15 kinds of sideways. Saves it up. We're going to stay clean and green as Jason Ward still battles Gilliam, but Gilliam holds the top spot. Jason Ward, a little bit lower line around the speedway, trying to get around the 4J of Aaron Gilliam. Got a good bite off the bottom of the speedway. Ward checks up. He'll fall in line behind Gilliam. Try something different through turns 3 and 4 this time. Ward going to dive to the bottom of the speedway. They're going to drag race down the front stretch, number to number. At the line, it's still Gilliam. Ward and Gilliam still battling for position on the speedway. John DeBoer in the 16 gets by. Sean Johnson goes around top of the speedway. Johnson gets spinning around. He'll point it in the right direction. We'll stay clean and green as the battle for the top spot wages on off turn 4. Ward got a good line this time. Gilliam back to the whip. Gilliam still holds the top spot. Jason Ward all over the rear end of that 4J machine. But Ward with a good run that time. Oh, he got a big run on the backstretch off into turn 3. Can he make it stick? Ward going to slide up, get a little hello, how's your mom from Aaron Gilliam. And Gilliam still takes the runner spot as Ward, your new leader. Jason Ward, new leader in the 41. Aaron Gilliam, a little bit of couple puffs of white smoke out of the back of the Ford J. John DeBoer, Kurt Van Beek, your top four. One more time around the 3/8 mile for your leader, Jason Ward. Working the top side of the speedway. There's a reason he's a former track champion. Awful strong today to the 41. It's Jason Ward. Aaron Gilliam second. John DeBoer, Kurt Van Beek, and the wild child Mike Jensen rounding out the top five. A little bit of front end damage on the 28. Mike Jensen going to take that car straight to the pit area. He ain't going to take a cool down lap. Have to see what's hopefully nothing too serious on the 28. We'll get Mikey back out here for the feature events. But your heat race number 2 winner rolling down the front stretch in the 41 is Jason Ward. On the pole, in the 19, it's Bo Lundquist. To his outside, the 10X of Paul Winslow. Row number 2 to the inside is the 43 of Aaron Kane. To his outside, your point leader in the 49, that's Ryan Harris. Row 3, the 68Z of Zach Ankrum, and the T17, Brenton Palmer. Palmer choosing to start at the tail, moving Lundquist and Winslow as your front row. That's ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's go green. Paul Winslow on the top side of the speedway, charging to the front, but Bo Lundquist fighting back on the inside. Winslow with the advantage. He'll take the top spot. Lundquist to fall in line in second. Ryan Harris third. Zach Ankrum to the outside of Aaron Kane for that spot. For the 4th spot is move Ankrum up to P4. Aaron Kane off the bottom of turn 2. He's going to slide up in front of Ankrum again for that 4th spot. Kane and Ankrum battling for 4th. As your top 3 cars getting awful close through turns 3 and 4, it's still Paul Winslow at the front. Bo Lundquist dives to the bottom of turns 1 and 2. He's trying to make that bottom line stick, but he can't quite get the grip. Winslow holds on to the lead. Aaron Kane with a good run. Kane to the rear quarter panel of Ryan Harris down the backstretch. Top 5 cars pretty much nose and tail are on the top of the speedway as Paul Winslow continues to lead. Bo Lundquist again to the bottom of turns 1 and 2, trying to find a way around the Winslow 10X machine, but cannot get the grip to make the move. They're still battling out for that top spot as off turn 4. Lundquist a little bit loose. That allows Winslow to open it up. Paul Winslow, Bo Lundquist, Ryan Harris, Aaron Kane, Zach Ankrum, Brenton Palmer. Your 6 cars on track. Wide flag out, 1 to go for your race leader, Paul Winslow. Winslow has been under pressure from Bo Lundquist the entire race. But just half a lap to go as Ryan Harris gets high in a battle for 3rd down the backstretch. Aaron Kane trying to take over 3rd here in the final lap. As they come off turn number 4, checkered flag in the air. Heat race winner, Paul Winslow. Bo Lundquist 2nd. Ryan Harris, Aaron Kane, your top 4. Zach Ankrum and Brenton Palmer rounding out the field. Steady as she goes. He came up just short in the battle for the point championship last year, but he's trying to remedy that this year. Driver of the 10X, your heat race winner is Paul Winslow. Hamas, the JD's outside of 7L, Jesse Lindberg. Nice and easy pace through the backstretch as they are set to go wheel to wheel and on the gas hard here in heat race number 1 for the IMCA RaceSaver Sprints. Pace picks up, green flag waves. I don't know about pace. There we go. Pace picks up, and we're set to go green flag racing. 3 wide down the front stretch. Everybody sleeping on the flag. As Elliot Holmdahl, he's not sleeping. He's on the gas. The beef up to P2. Trying to cross over J.D. Hamas, but can't get it done. Hamas leads lap 1, but Elliot Holmdahl all over the top of the speedway. Hamas, Almdahl, Lindberg, Aiken, your top 4. Jesse Lindbergh with a good run through 1 and 2, trying to catch the top 2 cars. Almdahl running a little bit higher line in the speedway, but Hamas able to counteract it just half a groove lower. Jesse Lindbergh starting to make that bottom line work. Lindbergh now wheel to wheel with Almdahl down the backstretch. Jesse Lindbergh making some headway down low. Gonna make it a 3-way dance for the top spot. Hamas has been your leader the whole way in the 43, but here comes the beef. Elliott Almdahl on his rear push bar for that top spot. Lindbergh working the bottom of the speedway. Hamas trying to block everybody. Hamas working defensively, but here comes Elliott Almdahl again with a big run to the outside. Almdahl goes to the whip to the top of the speedway. Look out, J.D. Hamas with a bit of a bobble. That's going to allow Almdahl to get by. Lindbergh going to try to capitalize as well. Now here's Nate Aiken joining the battle. Nate Aiken making up some room. Going to join that 3-way dance for that runner-up spot as Elliott Almdahl on the top of the speedway. Takes the white flag. Lindbergh second. Aiken and Hamas your top 4. Checkered flag out. Heat race number 1 for the RaceSaver Sprints goes to Elliott Almdahl. Jesse Lindbergh second. Ned Aiken third. J.D. Hamas fourth. And the 20 of Brant O'Banion rounding out the top 5. Had to do some work to get it done, but picking up the heat race win. Driver of the 51A out of Flandreau, South Dakota, it's Elliott Almdahl. Taking it to his outside, the defending track champion, the 05 of Colin Smith. The Combine, Dusty Ballinger rolls off third to his outside. Already 2 feature wins this season. The 5X, Jason Martin. 17V, that's Lennox, South Dakota's Casey Abbas. And tagging the tail of the field out of Laverne, Minnesota, the 18 of Dalton Damagala. Nailed it. Green flag waves. Here we go in heat race number 2. Dusty Ballinger gets on it. He'll take the top spot. Mike Stegana falls in line in second. Colin Smith third. Jason Martin fourth. Casey Abbas and Damagala running out the field. But Dusty Ballinger leads lap 1. Jason Martin on the bottom of the speedway, challenging Colin Smith. 2 5 cars battling off with that third spot. Martin on the bottom. Big slider up in front of Smith. Smith has to check up. That's going to allow Casey Abbas to reel him in. Dusty Ballinger, Mike Stegana, Jason Martin, your top 3. Now Casey Abbas and Colin Smith battling for the 4th spot. Everybody getting stretched out now around Park Jefferson Speedway. Up front, the Combine getting it done in the 2B. Mike Stegana, Jason Martin, Colin Smith, Casey Abbas. Big puff of smoke out of the 18 of Dalton Damagala. 18 car will turn off into the infield down the backstretch as the white flag waves for Dusty Ballinger. Dusty Ballinger on the gas, top side of the speedway as Damagala takes the 18 car pit side. Checkered flag out, heat race number 2 goes to the 2D, the Combine. It's Dusty Ballinger, Mike Stegana, Jason Martin, Colin Smith, and Casey Abbas rounding out the field. Tough break for Damagala. Made the trip down from Laverne, Minnesota. Big puff of smoke down the front stretch. He takes that car into the infield. Have to see if there's any possibility he can make it back out for the feature event a little bit later on. But your heat race winner coming down the front stretch, the 2D, it's Dusty Ballinger. Paul Winslow and Aaron Gilliam side by side for that top spot. Bo Lundquist thinking about making it 3 wide as well. We're 2 by 2 down the backstretch. Look out, Todd Giroux and Kurt Van Beek get together. Both cars check up, but we're going to stay pointed in the right direction. We're clean and green with Paul Winslow, your leader. Winslow on the outside, Gilliam on the inside. Glenn Jones, Bo Lundquist. Look out, Gilliam with a little bit of loose stuff down the backstretch. Might lose second to Jones. Aaron Gilliam, all kinds of loose. Bo Lundquist thinking about making it 3 wide one more time, but Paul Winslow, your leader. Jason Ward joining this party. It's a four-way party for that runner-up spot. But it's Paul Winslow out front, your leader. Glenn Jones second. Bo Lundquist too high. He's going to lose a couple spots. It's Winslow up front. Jones, Gilliam, Ward, and Bo Lundquist in the 5th spot. Ryan Harris, 6th. Greg Taylor with a big bobble off the top of turns 1 and 2. He's going to fall back in the pack and lose a ton of real estate to the field. As it seems like the bottom side of the speedway, the preferred line for the stock cars at this moment. Everybody working in the middle to low line around the track. Bo Lundquist inside of Jason Ward, but Ward back on the gas. He's got his foot in it. Ward in the 3rd spot. Look out, John DeBoer goes around, contact with Aaron Kane. John DeBoer goes around in turns 3 and 4. We'll have caution on the speedway. Caution for the 16J of John DeBoer. Aaron Kane caught a little bit of contact from the 16 as it went around. Something definitely breaking under the 16J of John DeBoer. That car just snapped around in turn 3 and 4. Apparently we had another birthday on Tuesday as well. Tuesday, a pretty popular day for birthdays, as Tina Hammond celebrated her birthday on Tuesday. I heard she's 29, but the sly look on this dude's face makes me wonder otherwise. I'm just saying. Green flag waves, here we go. Paul Winslow takes the green flag and brings the top spot, brings Jason Ward along with him. Ryan Harris up the inside line as well, taking over 3rd. Winslow, Ward, and Harris, your top 3. Glenn Jones trying to fight back on the outside. But it's still 10X up front. Paul Winslow now getting constant pressure from Jason Ward for the top spot. Into 3 this time. Jason Ward going to go all the way to the top side of the speedway. Ryan Harris working the bottom side, wants to join this dance as well, but it's still Paul Winslow up front with Jason Ward all over his bumper. Winslow, Ward, Harris, your top 3. Glenn Jones and Bo Lundquist battling for that 4th spot. As Jason Ward again right on the rear quarter panel of Winslow, but cannot find a way around the 10X. Caution on the speedway. Caution as the 42 machine of Chad Overgaard had trouble on the backstretch. Looks like Overgaard finally got the car refired. We'll have caution for the 42 of Overgaard. Here we go. Paul Winslow again holding that top spot. Jason Ward on the bottom of the speedway. Bo Lundquist, Ryan Harris, Chad Loneman now up into the 5th spot. As now Harris trying to work the top side in the 49. As this time by, we're halfway home. Ryan Harris seems to find something that suits that 49 car as he gets a big run. Top 3 cars going nose to tail. Harris trying something different. Chad Loneman breaks something sideways. The 117L goes around off the top of turn number 2. That car took a hard right-hand turn. And we'll have caution for the 117L of Loneman. Have to see if Todd Giroux caught any damage on that one as well. Harris and the 94 Todd Giroux, your top 5 cars. We're set to go once again. 9 laps scored complete. 9 laps remain in the J&J Fitty Stock Car main event, and we go back to green flag racing. Look out, a couple of 42s having some trouble. Chad Loneman and Jeremy Gibbs. I think they just wanted to be closer to each other. I don't know. Jeremy Gibbs takes his car pit side, and we stay clean and green with Paul Winslow out front in the 10X. Jason Ward again puts pressure on the 10 of Winslow, and here comes Bo Lundquist. He wants in on this as well. Top 3 cars are nose to tail off into turn number 3. Winslow gets a little squirrely. That's going to allow Ward to pull up beside him. But Winslow continues to hold the spot. Ward, Lundquist, Harris, Giroux, and Gilliam now battling for 5th as Giroux gets high. Oh, Jason Ward with a good run off turn 2. He's going to have a slight advantage, but Brenton Palmer goes around in turn 3. We'll have caution for the T17 of Brenton Palmer. .TV. Paul Winslow, Jason Ward, Bo Lundquist, Ryan Harris, Todd Giroux bring the field back to the green flag, and we go racing one more time. Jason Ward back to the bottom side of the speedway, trying to get that big run. A little bit loose, that back end got a little happy off turn 2. Allowed Winslow to hold on to the top spot. Winslow, Ward, Lundquist, Harris, Giroux, all running pretty much nose to tail. Winslow pushes up just a bit. That opens the door for Jason Ward. Jason Ward on the bottom side of the speedway gets the good bite, gets on the gas. Winslow trying to hold him off. They're going to go wheel to wheel into turn 3. Bo Lundquist trying to find a happy spot. Glenn Jones having trouble in the 13. He's going to pull back on track. Maybe. As Jason Ward off into turn 1 completes the pass. New leader, 41, Jason Ward. Look out, here comes Bo Lundquist as well. Lundquist and Ward beating and banging. That allows Ryan Harris to come up. Here comes Paul Winslow as well. This battle for the top spot is heating up, but right now it's Jason Ward out front. Everybody working the bottom side of the speedway. Paul Winslow trying to make that top line work there. 3 wide for second. Jason Ward, now your leader. He's got Bo Lundquist all over his bumper. He's got Paul Winslow trying to work the top side of the speedway. As off of turn 4, Jason Ward, your leader. Jason Ward about a car length advantage over Bo Lundquist. Lundquist with Paul Winslow to the outside. This time by the flag stand. 2 laps remain for Jason Ward. Jason Ward leads, gets a little bumpy there off turn 2. Ward and Lundquist pull away from the battle for 3rd as they come off turn number 4. 2 guys with their eyes set on that white flag. What does Bo Lundquist have for Jason Ward in this final lap? Ward with a good run off, too. He's going to have about a car length advantage over Lundquist. Bo will probably, you got to think Bo wants to try something crazy, but he can't get the grip off to the bottom of turn 3 and 4. Paul Winslow, your race-long leader, loops it around as Jason Ward gets the win. Bo Lundquist, Ryan Harris, Todd Giroux, and Aaron Gilliam inside the top 5. Oh, absolute heartbreak for Paul Winslow. Had been your leader the entire race, and coming to the checkered flag, looped it around. He'll cross the line somewhere around 10th or 11th. But he'll head into victory lane for the first time this season. Another driver you expect to get there on a regular basis. Former track champion, always very strong in the stock car division. Ryan Harris with a little tip of the cap, a little congratulations to the 41 machine. Starting 3rd, the 7L, that's Jesse Lindbergh. To his outside, your defending track champion. In the 05, it's Colin Smith. Row 3 to the inside, the 4SN of Nate Aiken. 10/8 outside the 2D. We call him the Combine. It's Dusty Ballinger. Row 4, I still say it's my favorite nickname, the Beef. Elliot Almdahl. I love that. To his outside the 5X with 2 feature wins this season, Jason Martin. Row 5 to the inside the 17V of Casey Abbas, to his outside the 20 of Brant O'Banion. Brandon Bosma rolls off 11th with Dalton Damagala, scheduled to be 12th, and the 13th and final start of the 36K of Rick Hansen. Lights are out around Park Jefferson Speedway, set to go 12 laps of feature racing. Green flag is out, here we go. Once again, some drivers a little slow on the start. Going to cause all kinds of trouble. Look out, Dusty Ballinger, red flag. Dusty Ballinger upside down in turn 2. Red flag, red flag. Lights go out around the speedway. Green flag waves. Here we go. Mike Stegana on the inside. He'll take the top spot. Bring Colin Smith along with him. Jesse Lindbergh, Ned Aiken, and Jason Martin, your top 5. Stegana off turn 4. Going to hold on to the race lead. Lindbergh second, Colin Smith, Jason Martin, Elliot Almdahl. Big move down the backstretch. Got off track, but he gets back on. Almdahl trying to work that top side, but having some trouble in the 51A. Jesse Lindbergh now reeling in Stegana for the top spot. As we've got caution for the 18 machine of Dalton Damagala. Damagala goes around in turn 2. Nine laps remain. Mike Stegana, Jesse Lindbergh, Jason Martin bringing the field around to the green flag. And the green flag waves. Here we go. Jason Martin with a big run off turns 1 and 2. Moved Jason Martin to the top spot and went from 3rd to 1st in turns 1 and 2. If you were here for the South Dakota Sprint Car Nationals, you saw Martin dominate the feature events. And with a move like that, Jason Martin could just check out. Martin has definitely found something that works under the 5X machine, as Jason Martin up front rolled off 8th, your leader in just 4 laps, and is pulling away from Jesse Lindbergh. This time by halfway home for your leader, the Lincoln Madman, it's Jason Martin. Once he gets out front, he is gone. Nearly a full straightaway lead now for Jason Martin. Jesse Lindbergh, Nate Aiken, Mike Stegana, Colin Smith, your top 5. Goodbye, Jason Martin. He's already on his way to the 402. Jason Martin checking out from the field. Top 5 cars now beginning to stretch out. 5th place, Elliot Almdahl getting around Stegana. But Jason Martin has checked out, dominating the feature. Damagala slows down the backstretch. He'll pull into the infield. But this time by 2 to go for Jason Martin. Jason Martin beginning to encounter some lap traffic, but he's only got one more lap to go. 3/8 mile away from his third feature win of the season. Jesse Lindbergh, Nate Aiken, Colin Smith over a half track behind in fourth spot. Off of turn number 4, domination once again for Jason Martin. Second to the 7L of Jesse Lindbergh, and Nate Aiken third, Colin Smith, and the Beef Elliott Omdahl rounding out the top 5. Merciful domination, Jason Martin. He's been with us 3 times this season. After 3 feature events he's participated in, Jason Martin has 3 feature wins. The driver out of Lincoln, Nebraska has been dominant early on this season in the Kaiser Wheels IMCA RaceSaver Sprints. And for the 3rd time this season, he'll take that 5X into victory lane.